What's up, Internet? My name is Michael Cook, this is Blue Giant Media, and we're here to connect through gaming. And today I want to take a look at what's inside the box of Trogdor, the board game, by the brothers Chaps and James Earnest, a cooperative game of burnination, majesty, and consummate V's. Trogdor the board game is inspired by Homestar Runner, which was an early web comic, and in that, the character Strong Bad, who's here riding Trogdor, he had a little special segment where he would answer emails, like check his email, and people would ask him questions and he would answer them, and it was always ridiculous because everything in Homestar Runner was ridiculous, and one of the things asked him to draw how do you draw a dragon? And so he proceeded to draw an S, and then a more different S, and then the consummate V's that were for the scales, and then he gave it a big beefy arm to make it cool. So it turned into this ridiculous character, Trogdor, and then there was a song about Trogdor who was burninating the countryside and burninating the peasants, and this was a while ago. But it has since kind of been an underground inside joke, almost like an early meme. And, well, now it's a board game where you get to be Trogdor and you're going to be burninating the countryside. There's the cheat. I'm guessing if you're watching this, you're probably familiar with Homestar Runner and Trogdor, because if you aren't, I don't really know how interested someone would be in this if they weren't interested in Trogdor and homestarrunner.com. So here we go. We've got a Toaster's Choice. So these are, I think, just different things that you can use for Trogdor for his kind of piece. There's many different ones. So these are the pieces that are going to come with like a regular edition. The deluxe edition is going to have these, which I will show you in a minute. But this is what's like in the regular edition. They're still pretty nice. Nice meeples, all kinds of different stuff. Some peasants for you to burninate. So solid wood with some nice coloring on them. Like I said, these are pretty nice in and of themselves, actually. We got some cards. I'll open them in a little bit and we'll see how the quality of the cards are. And then these are the map tiles, which are going to be making up your countryside, which as you move Trogdor around, you will burninate. So you'll make up a grid with these, and they are pretty good thickness. Let's see if I can get kind of a look at those. They're pretty solid thickness though. So I think that that's going to hold up well over time. This is, I believe, part of like a mini game that came with it. And okay, so that doesn't have anything else under it. So nice insert, even though it is a little bit superfluous, I think. A little bit bigger than it needs to be. So a bunch of different meeples, some wood tiles, and here are the deluxe components. So we have Trogdor with his big beefy arm. So these are, let's see, they're hard plastic. They do have a little bit of give to them, and these are also painted. To me, this looks too realistic to be as goofy as Trogdor is supposed to be, in my opinion. But we'll go ahead and look at some of these other things. Here are some archers. Come on. There we go. Adjust the light here a little bit. And you've got the Trog Hammer. Bunch of peasants. We've got these huts which go from not being burninated to being burninated. Pretty clever little way to just flip those around. There's also, for these different peasants, this is harder to get out than I would like. You also have a little fire hat to put on your peasants as they run around the countryside after being burninated. so we'll go ahead and put that. I guess there is one way that they like to go. Then we have a couple knights here. And these all feel pretty sturdy, so I'm not too worried about any of these being damaged. The longevity, I think, is there. And they look pretty nice. I actually think that I might tend a little bit more towards these just because I like the cartoony style of them. I think it fits with the theme a little bit more. But these do look really nice. So we'll go ahead and cover that back up. That's a little bit more difficult to put in there. There we go. All right, now let's go ahead and open these up and see how the card quality is. All right, so now that I've got the cards unwrapped, they have a good linen finish, a decent thickness to them, so I think that these are pretty good quality cards. They feel really nice. I like the artwork on the back here. You got a flame with Trogdor in it. I like the card quality on these, and I like the illustrations because they do remind me more of the original goofiness. Like I said, maybe it's just me, but I think that this is a little too realistic. I'm not a good art critic. It also comes with this little card, which says stack them to the heavens, which you'll notice this bag says as well. It has rules for basically a little two-player game, which is basically, if you are familiar with Animal Upon Animal, a good children's game, it's basically that. But it's nice that you have kind of a small little micro game that you can play while maybe you're waiting for someone else to come over. So these are really consummate V's. Then we have these movement cards. There's a whole bunch of different ones that give kind of different things that can happen. They're a little bit multi-use in that sometimes you have a movement path and sometimes you have just what is going to come out or happen at different times. So these are used for a couple different purposes. And then we have, see there in here, we have items of Trogdor and way better items of Trogdor. And then we have keepers of Trogdor and the for real keepers of Trogdor. It looks like those are a little bit mixed in. And from what I understand, these are just extra powerful. At the beginning of the game, you're going to be getting these, and it's going to give you different items that you can use and different special powers that you can use, and each person is going to have different ones. So there's a little bit of variety in game to game there, which is nice. Always appreciated. So now, I don't think we will have any issues with putting everything back into the box because it all fit in there quite nicely to begin with. Let's see. I think we'll go ahead and go like that because then it's going to be easy to get everything out. Drop these cards in here. Throw that in there. Go ahead and place that there. And we can throw some of these pieces in here if we like, because there's ample space. And we do have this baggie if we wanted to put cards in here. But on the whole, I think everything fits in there nicely. And the rule book I didn't mention specifically before as I showed it to you, but I think that the card or paper quality is, again, pretty nice. So overall, it's a really good production, and the art and everything seems really nice in here. I haven't read it yet, but I imagine, I hope that it has some of the kind of humor that maybe, like, I hope it's like written in a way that Strong Bad would have said it. But there we go. Alright, so that's what's inside the box of Trogdor, the board game. If you want to know more about Trogdor, take a look in the description section where you can find a link to my setup and kind of gameplay overview. And you can also find a link there to macronovagames.com where you can buy hundreds of great games. Until next time, I want to thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like what you see. And let me know in the comment section below if you have any feedback, comments, criticisms, questions, requests, any of that good stuff. I'd love to connect with you. And until next time, have a wonderful day.